Hey, what's up, Dean? Steer Performance. We are down here working on the Trans Am, and I finally got everything wired up. I got everything under here. I got to clean it up a little bit, but I got everything under here. I got a heat shrink, or I got to heat up the heat shrink tubing, but I got this wire patched up. Let me get the key out. Jeez, that's annoying. Got that wire patched up. This one's patched up. I depinned them, took as much of the solder crap off as I could, and put 2 sleeves of heat shrink over them. I also mounted the solid state relay for the trans brake over here. Got that wired up. So I took his steering wheel button, the trans brake button, and that is the yellow wire, and that goes to 2 wires. For one is the ground for the trans brake, and one is the input for the Holly to see the trans brake input. Then this red wire is the output from the Holly that goes over to the solid state relay. I believe it's on pin 1. Then you have 12 volt that's jumped across 2 and 4, I believe. Cannot see. No, it's jumped across 2 and 3. Then 4, or no, 1? Yeah, 1 is the power output. Wait, dang it, dude. Yeah, 1 is the power output for the trans brake. I don't know what's going on, but the solenoid on the trans brake's not working. It's feeding it power and ground. I haven't put it up in the air and checked it yet. It's feeding it power and ground. The relay is working. It's doing, everything is doing what it's supposed to do. It shows in the Holly system. We could look at that because I did something else that's really cool. So, USB link, whip. On here, under boost, let me shut the light off. Under boost, you can see staging input 1, boost scramble. Yeah, so staging input 1 is the trans brake button. So that works. And you see it targeting 6 psi. The button is really a crappy button, and it doesn't work every single push. But then you see I added boost scramble, which he did not have. So this is your trans brake 2-step. This button here, your cruise control button. If you watch the boost scramble, you see it lighting up, and that is also staging input 2. So you see the target dome jumps up 2 psi. That's all I have it set to right now. But that is also your bump feature. So under pin map, you've got boost scramble and staging input 2. So that'll give us our bump feature. And we have 1 input left open. I don't know what to do with it. Ended up, he doesn't have the lockup converter, so I added in the fans. Then you got staging output, boost solenoids. So that's what I've been doing. And what I found yesterday, I was having a weird issue. Under all my boost safeties, you see I had to switch them. I usually put them all cut ignition. So like boost pressure above 15, boost pressure above 15 for 2 seconds, cut ignition. Dome pressure above 25, dome pressure above 25 for 2 seconds. Now I have ignore. Typically it's cut ignition. And what was happening yesterday is I didn't push the Deutsch connector, or I didn't pin the Deutsch connector the right way, the 5 volt in the ground. So it actually set 100 psi as dome pressure, and it was giving me a cut ignition. So today I went in, it's literally a rev limiter. So today I went in, I typed in, or changed these to ignore, and suddenly the car acted right. So everything is good there. I re-switched I swapped the pins, and now you can see dome pressure is 0 because there's nothing on the dome right now, even though the boost fill should be trying to fill, and I don't hear it trying to fill. So that might be something I have to look at with the Mac valve, because when you key the car on initially, you can hear the Mac valve trigger right there, that little grrr, that is the Mac valve triggering. So I'm not sure why it's not constantly trying to fill, and that might be the strategy because it's not running. I'm not really sure, but even when I had it running just now, it wasn't trying to fill. So I don't know if it activates with the trans brake. I'm not 100% positive on that. I know he says he has a 10-pound spring in there. Unfortunately, I don't know why that solenoid's not working. I got to get the car up in the air. I got to make sure that it actually has power and ground at the solenoid, because I know it's power and ground under here. So I got the line lock. I can hear that solenoid going. So I got all of that stuff working. All this wiring was here. I got the tube back in. I think I had that in yesterday. So I did a single connector here for the fans. These are the 2 fans. This is the output from the Holly. And then I just got this mess of wires that I gotta put together. This is the spare input. So there's the Deutsch connector for the solenoids over there with the 5 volt. I think I did that yesterday. So that's everything there. I got the dome pressure sensor in on a single connector. So all of that can be unplugged and take out if need be. Yeah, but all the inputs and outputs run down through the firewall. Everything's so far working. Just started up. This gauge, totally wrong. It's about 20 psi off. And that is an air motive gauge, which I find that extremely difficult to believe unless we have a different sensor. Nope, it's 0 to 100 psi, 0.5 to 4.5 volts. So I'll double check the sensor because it's reading way higher than the gauge. The gauge could be messed up. A lot of people accidentally mess up gauges. Let's see. Sensors, field pressure, custom pressure. Yeah, 0.5 to 100. I don't know why that's showing 250. Let me check. I got interrupted as usual. I don't know why, but I think I overthought it. Yeah. So where I was going wrong was feeding ground. I don't know why. You have to ground it, and you feed power to the trans brake through the relay, and you interrupt the relay. So the only thing I have to check is the bump, but I just checked. I mean, I went through everything, and even the button was messed up. Like, it would kind of work, sort of work, not really work. So I took the whole steering wheel apart. I took the little piece that was, I guess somebody took out the buttons that are in there, and put some carbon fiber on it or whatever to stick back in there. I gotta find a button. I know I have a button, I just don't know if I have a button that'll fit that size hole. But once I get the button, I can actually hold the trans brake and kind of try out the bump. I was busy holding the two wires together and paying attention to the computer, so I didn't really look at the bump feature, just because it's late and I was refusing to give up. So got one of my things stuck to the light. So I got it all worked out now. The car makes like 10 pounds of boost on the brake. That's way too much. So I'm gonna definitely have to cut the spring or swap the spring out. I have a bunch of springs in the back. I'm not sure what type of spring is in that one. So I'm gonna put that one on the lift. I think it'll be the easiest way to do it is put it on the lift to get that off. Yeah. So, and I'll probably move the clamp. I'll roll the clamp down. And I have another wastegate. I gotta re-find it. There it is. Just in case. I actually have a Turbo Smart Hypergate 45. And I have the flange for it and everything, so that's good. But I have a whole box of springs. So I'll bring this over to the bench to remind myself. Not a fan of this style wastegate with the ring that tightens, but you know, it's a Turbo Smart. It's a good wastegate, I guess. Worst case, I haven't, I'll swap out the wastegate. I just have a weird suspicion that this one is got a poke in the diaphragm. It's just weird. And then I gotta plug that port on the side of the throttle body still. But everything is back to working. He has more features now than he had. Like he's got two-step, boost scramble, trans brake feature in the Holly. So he has launch, he has all that. And the two-step hooked to the trans brake. The scramble and bump, I don't know if I went over it. I actually put it on the cruise control set. So it's what I did with the blue Camaro. Reason being is you're holding the trans brake over here. So you'll need this hand to bump. And then as you go down the road, you'll be holding the steering wheel with this hand, shifting with this hand. So you can easily, on this steering column, it's jacked up right now. You could easily reach over with your finger and, hold the wheel and hit the scramble. So it's kind of neat. It wasn't really working too good. Like it would kind of, but I sprayed some electrical cleaner in there and now it's like super nice. So I may actually wrap a rag around it again, spray a little more down in there, just to be on the safe side. I'm going to leave the charger on it overnight and try to get all the interior lights off. I don't know why the little off thing doesn't work. Nope. Ew. But I guess it's off. Maybe, kind of, sort of. Yeah. Okay, so that's off. So, getting there. I'll have this one wrapped up tomorrow. It's Saturday. Today's Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. So, I'll get this one wrapped up. Take it for a ride. Maybe, I don't know if I'll probably won't put a GoPro on it because I'm too lazy. So, I'll probably just hold the camera and pray for the best. So, that's it for this one. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave me a comment, all that good stuff. Have a good weekend.